So video is rolling. Right now what I have is the Lunt 152 double stack. I'm using the Exterminator black and white camera. And the sun is starting to set. The front just came through and it's clearing a little bit. That's why I figured I'd run out here. I'm using Stefan's Monochrome Exterminator control software. And right now I'm at 1/750th of a second. I have zoom off. I'm in negative view. APC is set to 1 and 1. And using AMCAP, I have brightness at 23, contrast at max, and sharpness. Let me push the sharpness up a little bit and see what it does. I went from 2 to, I pushed the sharpness up a little bit. Maybe too much. Let me see if I change the exposure, what happens. I'm at 1/750th. I'm going to go to 1/500th. Too much. I'm going to go the other way. 1/1000th. So with the negative, it's kind of the opposite of what you would do with a positive view. And I'll show the positive view right now. That's supposed to be the positive view. And I'll go to a shorter exposure to show surface. And maybe a little bit shorter. That's 1/4000th of a second. I have to find out why I'm getting those annoying horizontal rolling lines. 1/6000th. I was getting a lot of issues with my 110 volt power system putting an annoying horizontal rolling line in the image. Right now the computer is running off of, what if I unplug the computer and run directly off the internal battery, if that'll change? Let's see. Nope, I unplugged the computer and it's still there. What else can be doing it? Because the camera is running directly off of a 12 volt battery. You have a big 130 amp hour AGM battery on the floor running all of the 12 volt on the camera. And I tried unplugging the laptop power. What else is getting AC power? I was getting feedback from the 110 volt Monochrome monitor. It cleaned up. Notice that? Yeah, the big 21-inch Monochrome monitor is being fed off of AC power through a 12 volt. I put it on an inverter, it would be clean. I need to fix the issues with the cleanliness of the power here in the observatory. That's contrast is max. Brightness is, I'm playing with brightness now only. And let me go back to the zoom. And let me see if I can move it to where you were looking at that Yeah, at the very bottom is where that bright spot was. Oh, upside down? Let's see. I wonder, how about a vertical flip? Does that look better now? I just did a vertical flip in the software. Let's see if I can tweak focus. Oh, that's the wrong way. I'm going to play with the pressure tuners. Both pressure tuners at around 13 psi. Let me go a little bit higher. I went to 13.5. And I drove the pressures up a little bit in the pressure tuners. Let's retweak focus. So let me go to, there's the negative now. And let me play with brightness a little bit. See, if you get the proms, by lowering the brightness, you lose surface. But you can see that prom to the, try lowering, so I lower contrast, you can see the proms jump out a little bit. So it's a delicate balance between brightness. Let me try playing with the sharpness feature. Rock likes going nuts with the sharpness. He likes pushing sharpness to the max. So I got positive now. And I thought so too. I don't know what happened. I turned the zoom off. Let me move the sun in the right direction. What I may do while, hold on a second, I'm going to take the focal reducer out. I'm going to stop the video recording temporarily, take the focal reducer out, and see what it looks like. I have an old MFR4 focal reducer. That was something in between the MFR3 and the MFR5. It was a single barreled focal reducer with 2 sets of lenses crammed into it. I'm going to pause, let me pause this video. Okay, I started the recording again. Oh, hi Dancy. After seeing Connie's broadcast, I realized that the front was coming through and the skies were starting to clear. I got about another 15-20 minutes before the sun disappears behind the pine trees. Let's see if I can put the negative back on. There's a negative view. Okay. Let me change the exposure. Which way do I have to go? Okay, that's 1/1000th of a second negative view. That is pretty cool looking. That is really nice. Do you see that pyramid-shaped prom at the 2 o'clock position and how it then enters the face of the sun and snakes all the way across the face, almost down to the bottom, where there's that bright part of the filament? That is impressive. It's like a big long snake running across the face of the sun. Yes, I have to use the focal reducer to get a whole disc. This is the Xterminator Monochrome with no focal reducer in, and the zoom is off. If I go to zoom on, that's what you get. Let me back up the zoom a bit. That's zoom at 4. So let me see if I can. I really like that snaking prom. That is an interesting feature. For some reason I can't click on those links. Maybe you can send me that link later. Well, that's going to be on your Flickr site. I can go check it then, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I have a link to your Flickr site. Did you see that picture I sent you with that Reflectix screen in front around the tube to shadow the eyepiece? Because in the same way it blocks the eyepiece, it can block the and cool the telescope. You can buy that at home building supply places. It comes in rolls of either 2 foot wide or 4 foot wide. I cut a 2 by 2 piece, split it up the middle, and then cut a hole big enough to go around my tube assembly, and then just pop it over the tube. When you go visually and look in the eyepiece, it blocks the sun from your eye. And when you go with a camera, it keeps the camera in the shadow of the Reflectix. So the picture did help. So let me see what happens if I go to a positive now. Positive, that filament running across the surface is not as nice. Let's see if I can lower the brightness, increase the contrast. No, yeah, increase the contrast. No, maybe lower the sharpness a bit. Rock likes pushing sharpness way up. Hi, Michael. I almost like the negative view better. You get it directly from Wayne Parker, Michael, or did you have a local dealer or a used one? That's not a bad deal. Pods are not that cheap. Let me go to the other side. Well, televiews aren't cheap either. I like how the sunspots appear as black dots on the surface when you're in negative. Went to positive there. Okay. Yes. Right now I'm playing with contrast and brightness. Right now it is... Oh. It says it's 109 degrees here in the observatory. Actually, the solar clock with the built-in thermometer is directly in the sunlight. That's the only reason why it's 108 degrees, because the clock is baking. It was 79 degrees when I came in earlier. Because of the rain we had. We had a rainstorm right before I started watching your broadcast, Connie. Let's see, how do we drive those edge? That's 7/50th. I'm looking for that coronagraph feature. I can't find the coronagraph feature. In the Xterminator software. Must be looking right past it. Yep, she was on earlier. Shaking and baking on her balcony. Fine balance. Not getting. See if I can tweak focus on that limb. That's going to be hard at 8x. I mean 2x zoom. The small problems were right over here. Let me see if I can. Here they are. Focus is critical when you're at that magnification. You look, there's a lot of little small prominences all along. Oh, that's a nice one right there. Hi, Bob. That's an interesting looking prom, like a little. It's very peaked, like a tent, like a teepee. You can see the smoke coming out of the top of the teepee. There's another nice prom. And they're that one and the one to the left, almost at 9 o'clock, they both have filaments going onto the surface. Yeah, I'm zoomed in almost at maximum. I'm at maximum zoom right now. Yeah, I'm glad I decided to open up the observatory. Yes, it is. That's what I thought, Michael. It's like one or the other. You have to release the preview to be able to broadcast on NSN. The only other way to do it, Connie, would be to use Stefan's software, have the preview window engaged, and then you could use something like Split Cam or Webcam Max to broadcast the preview window in Stefan's software. Then you could use Stefan's software to grab the images and Webcam Max, Manicam, Split Cam to broadcast what you're seeing. I don't know if it's so much the plasma as my atmosphere rolling, but it's a combination of both. Zoom off. Yeah, I like to keep it as simple as possible. Yeah, the sunspot's that little black dot right in the center right now. So if I go to a positive as opposed to a negative, you can see the little dot right in the middle. Let me zoom in. That little white dot near the center is the sunspot. That shows up as a black dot when you do the inverse. I'm increasing the brightness a little bit. Now, I don't know why I haven't used this camera more. Actually, the last person to use this camera was Carl Wright at Chiefland Astronomy Village almost a year ago. I lent it to him to use in his 22-inch. Very nice. I might put... I'm going to stop this. Let me see, how high is it? Oh man, it won't be above that tree line. And we're looking through some haze. It's not really the best of skies. Let me quickly throw an MFR6 focal reducer onto this. I'm going to stop the video. Thanks, Bob. That didn't really change that much, just putting that MFR6 in there. Gotta go to a shorter exposure. Yeah. Maybe a little bit shorter exposure. Okay. Yeah, that observatory took a lot longer than I thought to get it actually functioning the way I wanted it to function from the start, but now that it's finished, it really came out nice. Go back to those major features at the top. So this is now the Xterminator black and white with MFR6 focal reducer, about a 0.8. So instead of running at f6, I'm running at about f4.8 with the camera right now. And that's 4 on the zoom right now, about 0.5x. Let me see. Lower the brightness a tad. I did not know that, Michael. That is sharpness at a minimum, and I'm just gradually increasing the sharpness to maximum. That's called one of those Bart Simpson moments. Duh. Okay. The prominences, the small prominences to the left of that one at the 11 o'clock position are standing out better now. Very interesting view. Right. I never thought of that, but yeah, that makes perfect sense, Michael. I'll probably keep recording until it goes into the sun. That'll make a fitting ending to the video today. We're looking through clouds, and it's right above the trees. I got some, yeah, that's a big water oak tree. About 200 feet from the observatory that the sun's getting ready to go behind. I just played with gamma. I don't know if I'll be able to cast tonight or not. Back to the positive view. I'm ordering a star sense for the Skywatcher mount that I have now that Celestron has introduced that star sense for the Skywatcher mount. Yeah, the one at coming off the TP at 2 o'clock and then rolling onto the surface. Then the one at about 11:30, 12 o'clock that actually rolls onto the surface. The pressure tuners just bumped pressure slightly. That was the cow you all just heard. I'll try bumping the pressure up a little bit higher. Go up to 14 point. Now you can see the clouds. Now that's eerie. Strange. So the clouds end up creating a white appearance as opposed to a black appearance. Oh, I see what you mean, smiley face. Yeah, that curving prominence and those little dots above it look like eyes. Eerie. That cloud came out of the south and the front approach from the northwest. See if I can zoom in on the face. Before the clouds get in the way. Ugh. Actually, it's got two eyes. The one eye's lower than the other. It's got a big eye and a small eye to the right of it, lower. I was going to say it looked like Frogger. So now we've seen the face on the sun. Do you think aliens inhabited it? Need a really good suit. Hi, Dave. Just getting my second dose of the sun today. Connie served us up one earlier, and I decided to see what I could see from here since the rain went through and the skies cleared pretty well. Well, 2 hours ago it was pouring here. Lightning and thunder. The dogs refused to go outside to do their business. Backyard flooded. And then it cleared up. Yeah, I'm the guy that has to hand carry them out in the yard underneath the barbecue cover so they can do their business, because they don't really like getting wet. You'll see them at Rocks. We'll have both of them. Nothing like spoiling your animals. Some what? Wow. I think the only flurries we get around here are desserts at Dairy Queen. It's a pretty impressive little view. Yes, it is. It's a black and white Xterminator. I figured I'd give it a try. Sun's getting real close to the tree branches. Yeah, I'm very well pleased with it today. I just shortened the exposure a little bit. Let's see. Basically play with brightness and contrast. I might quickly take the focal reducer out so maybe we can see as it enters the tree. Let me stop the recording while... Oh, I think we can already see the tree. I think we got a tree. Yeah, I think the show is over for today, folks. It's only going to get worse as it goes behind that big oak tree. Well, I'm going to call it quits for now. And if it's clear tonight, maybe I will try to broadcast. We'll have to see. Yeah. Thanks for your show earlier, Connie, and I'm glad that a bunch of people were able to watch this one. See y'all later.